Hello, friends. Welcome to this channel, Center of Excellence Pharma Firm. In today's episode, I am going to discuss about artificial intelligence powered pharma, how it's going to have an impact onto pharma industry, and what are the strategic imperatives leadership should take in 2025. That's what is the objective of my episode over here. Before starting that episode, I just wanted to give you a brief idea and focus or goals, what we want to do or what we want to achieve. Our focus is about emerging technologies, that is cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, that is the Internet of Things, blockchain, robotics, chatbot, and how these various technologies can contribute in achieving operational and business excellence by helping about the challenges into pharma industry. Challenges could be about supply chain, the regulatory requirements, and the growing competition into the industry. So Dr. Jayan Joshi has designed this concept, and the details are available onto the website respa.com. We have also designed a complete smart manufacturing in pharma course, having about 20 modules on Udemy platform. YouTube channel is there for last 5 years, which has got now around more than 325 videos, starting from business strategies and various technologies and operational challenges into pharma industry, going up to the audits and validation. Podcast channel has got more than 60 episodes, and we have also shared our knowledge base with the books. And today there are 4 books are available, which are available on Kindle and paperback. On this JPJ, I am also sharing all those links. So feel free to check up those links, share with your network. Do share your comments also with us. If you have any suggestion, do write to us. Well, let me give you a brief illustration how AI-powered pharma is going to grow. There are huge number of opportunities are there, and executive leadership must really think about all those things as they go on moving and applying those technologies to achieve operational and business excellence. So my agenda is actually a brief introduction, then artificial intelligence, first revolution into pharma leadership, how that maturity framework is going to get designed, how leadership decisions are going to make enhancements by adoption of artificial intelligence. We are also having focus on to smart manufacturing transformation to support to the pharma 4 requirements. Digital twins is another concept which also is going to help with a deep reinforcements into the learning, overcoming about the legacy into manufacturing systems limitations, artificial intelligence powered supply chain optimization is an area. There are strategic imperatives for executive decision making. We always talk about the data driven decisions making into this. Implementations roadmap for artificial intelligence transformation, and finally coming to the conclusion. So when I'm looking at it for an introduction, artificial intelligence is evolving into the pharma industry. There is a transition from exploratory technologies to strategic thinking, strategic planning, strategic decision making, which is really going to be necessity in the today's scenario. It has to drive innovation, operational excellence, which will give a competitive advantage among the competition by other companies. So you require a comprehensive integration strategy, which is going to transform the manufacturing process and reimagine supply chain operations, which we are really looking from demand planning, supply planning, operations planning, and everything like that. And strategic imperatives for the leaderships are required by harnessing the transformative potential. So management has to really understand the benefits, the potential about the artificial intelligence and what are the challenges are there and how it's going to navigate the regulatory requirements, operational, cultural changes, and technology challenges. So this is what is the thing. So what are those challenges in embracing the artificial intelligence? We have to isolate the artificial intelligence pilot project. Now, many organizations have multiple isolated artificial intelligence pilot projects. These projects often struggle to transition into the full-scale production. We have to start with a pilot project, see the success, understand from the challenges which has occurred during the implementation, during the transformations and all that, and then plan it out to go to the full-scale production actually. Then there is a need for sustainable success. There is a sporadic adoption of AI tools is insufficient. See, many a times the users makes a mistake that they adopt to a particular thing, and if that becomes a successful, they assume that yeah, everything will work fine. But that's not the thing, no, because every process is a challenge, and it has got its own benefits also, its own limitations also. So industry leaders must recognize the need for the comprehensive approach. When you're talking about a complete end-to-end digital supply chain management, it covers so many areas, so many functionalities, and maybe many more geographies also are getting connected around. So you have to also think about artificial intelligence as a first strategy. Artificial intelligence should become a foundational element of the organization structures. It has to become a base about transformation and all. So adopting an artificial intelligence first strategy is essential from the long-term perspective, long-term success and all that. So AI first strategy, what if, how you define an AI first strategy? It should be having a comprehensive framework. It should position artificial intelligence center of the basic business processes and all other processes are getting connected to that artificial intelligence base actually. That is what it should ensure that it is a cohesive implementation. As again coming back to my last slide, it's artificial intelligence should really connect and integrate the complete digital supply chain management. All business processes has to get integrated around that. And it should really help in the decision making. The decision making integration is required. AI is the center of all those decisions. When you are talking about the decisions, it could be decisions from the market demand, demand forecasting, how it gets integrated with the sales and operation planning. From there, it goes to material requirement planning. Then you are connecting with the supply planning. There are so many decisions are getting involved. So you have to really base all your decisions on the basis of artificial intelligence because artificial intelligence is actually combining real-time data and is going to help you to drive the correct decisions and all. And then that is going to get scalable implementation and all. It should be an organizational fabric. No, it artificial intelligence should get integrated into the all organizations, all stakeholders and all that. And that is how it really moves beyond the piecemeal adoption. No, as I was mentioning about the pilot project, it's a piecemeal adoption and all. But you have to, on a long term, look at for the complete end-to-end integrations and all. So the alignment should be there with along with your organization goals. No, it should align your projects with the organization goals. It should ensure that projects are in synchronization with the company objective. Company should have an objective either on the basis of achieving the turnover, on the achieving the profitability, or achieving launching about a new product, whatever it is. So those objectives have organizational goals and it should really align those projects along with your artificial intelligence. So that should be and that will overcome the data fragmentation. You have a data coming up from the various sources, and that is where the big data concepts and all have come up and all. So it should integrate and all those data sources for the comprehensive analysis because various decisions are depending upon a lot of other factors. You have to looking at it in an integrated way. That is where we have to keep in mind how those data gets integrated and how it will help in the better decision making. So that should address the resources challenge. The entire organization work with the market, machines, man, money. So all those various resources are there, and how we are going to help in optimizing those resource allocation and its utilization. So these are the objectives which you have to think, and this is where how AI is going to contribute. So the executive management should really think from that particular perspective actually. And that will drive a competitive advantage for your company among the other partners, other stakeholders, other competitive industries, other companies around. And that should contribute to a long-term corporate success. So it should support, sustain the growth in a clinical trial, drug discovery, drug development, patient care, manufacturing, everything gets linked up connected with that. So there are some statistics which I'm just trying to share over. Yeah, AI-driven drug discovery market is growing up, and this is expected to grow from 1.48 billion to 15.5 billion by 2032. So in next coming 7 years, it's going to be almost 10 times. So we have to really look and start thinking how AI can help over there. So instead of having the fragmented efforts, you are going to miss the opportunity. So fragmented efforts into AI initiative, how is it going to work? Is the departmental approach should lead to an isolated project, but it will lack a cohesive strategy across the organization. So as I again mentioning that again, that you can start with a pilot project, but you should have a long-term strategy for the complete organization. And otherwise, unless it gets the duplicated investments, every time again you start thinking about a new thing, you again work out the new strategy, new plans around. So multiple department investment in a similar AI solution has to be thought about it and increase cost without adding value. Should keep it in mind actually. So missed opportunities for the transformative impact is to consider it. Potential for the significant advancements are not fully realized. When you're thinking about the entire integrating, again, I'm mentioning that digital supply chain management, the value chain improvements, and everything has to be taken into consideration while thinking about it. Entire across the organization opportunities there are. Then you have to think about the stages for AI adoption. As I again mentioned, that the pilot project is an experimental stage. You are just thinking about isolated AI initiatives and all that, but that will lack the enterprise-wide strategy. So then you move to the next stage, which is an operational stage. So AI applications across multiple business units you start working. When I say unit, the units could be procurement, could be quality, could be thing, or unit could be you are done it for one small plant and then you have to take up to the next plants and all that. So that strategy you have to think and work it out, and then that will grow the coordinations and all. And finally, it will move to the transformation stage. Actually, you will have to think about the entire enterprise-wise AI implementation. So that will be driving the fundamental business model with a innovation, keeping it in mind. Once you think about all that, then you can think about the path to artificial intelligence maturity. So these again I'm mentioning into four steps or four stages. The first is you establish a realistic expectation. You have to help your executives or the stakeholders or the skills who are working onto that particular project to set achievable goals. This is always I find in my experience that people have very astonishing goals, or expectations from the systems and all that, which is not really going to happen. It takes its own time to people to get adjusted to this particular system, start implementing, get the data, use the data for decision making, see the readers. So it's a continuous process. So your expectation should be realistic and you have to keep achievable goals and all. Once you ensure that you have an alignment with the organizational capacities or for that particular department or for that particular process, then you allocate those appropriate resources to move to the next step and all that. So you need necessary support at each stage, and that will go on optimizing your resources utilization. Again, I'm mentioning resources normally are main machines, material, manpower, market, all those resources. You have to start looking at it and how you are going to optimize those resources. You have to monitor that. And all. Once you have that, then think about the strategic roadmap. How you are going to get it extended to the entire organizations and all. And then that will guide your uh, maturity level. Maturity level one, two, three, four. You will have to identify. You will have to based on to your pilot project and to getting it to extended to the other supply chains and all that. And that is how it will go on moving up. And that addresses the specific challenge at each stage. It could be quality improvement, it could be inventory, it could be optimization of the resource utilization at a shop floor level, so something like that. So you will have to identify those, and that is how that intentional progressions will take place, and this will avoid the attempting of the leap stage. Instead of jumping into a leap stage, you have to avoid those and all, and then that will help in gradual development process. Build a confidence, build a adoptions, and all that. And this is where how I'm just trying to compare your traditional decision making and AI based decisions makings and all that. Your traditional decision making is an expert judgment based on the historical data or the feeling of that particular person or a manager or something. While over here, this enhances the human decision making. Yes, you think about the human, but this is where it's a more concrete decision based on to the actual data. The real-time data is available and which is gets available because artificial intelligence helps in a new intelligence dimension also. So it could be onto your inventory, it could be onto your quality, or it could be onto prediction of the equipment availability, something like that. So that is how it will go on helping in enhancing the decision making data. The next which I want to discuss about is the impact on the patient outcome and financial sustainability. See, today all pharma companies are basically their customers are the patient. No? So you have to see that how your patients are focused, how patient outcome is there, how patient centricity is been maintained, how patients are getting a quality product, right time, right price, and all that. No? So, what is the impact of your decisions is going to happen along with the patient? That's what you have to think. So, AI-driven insights is basically going to help in the decision-making process and all. So, leaders can make more informed, better data-backed decisions when they focus on to the patients and all. So, patient's outcome is also data is getting compiled. So, those decisions which affect the patient's outcome positively are also compiled and all, and that aligns the patient-centric goals. And this gives the impact onto your financial sustainability because the more patient, more sale give you better profitability, and then that will help in the reducing the uncertainties in clinical trials or the when you are talking about the patient data for your clinical experiments and all, it will happen, and also impacts on to the regulatory compliances. And regulatory compliances also helps basically because you reduce time for maintaining documentation. Your documentation is perfect, and then that gives an impact on to your commercial strategy also. So this is how whole thing is getting integrated, and this also will lead to the Pharma 4 overview. So we are looking at it for the transformation of the traditional production processes to automate those data compilation, data integration, data analysis, sharing with the stakeholders and all that. And that will drive the smarter factories and all. And that real-time data will help in the better decision making. And when you achieve the Pharma 4, you will have a quicker production cycle, increased resilience into manufacturing, and emphasis onto the precision, patients, first come outcome and all that. So continuous manufacturing pragmatisms are there actually, traditional batch processes which was there long relied on to pharma manufacturing will be there. We completely operating to the continuous manufacturing where you will have a better utilizations of your resources and all that. So replacing the smart batch processes and all that. And to think about the intelligent systems, build on the more predictive analytics because artificial intelligence can help you in helping drawing more predictive analysis, whether it could be about the sales forecast, it could be about the manufacturing, it could be about the quality results, it could be about the plant maintenance. So many such factors will be there, and that will help to raise the quality, reduce human errors, and scale up those adoption of the resources and all that. You have to also think about the FDA requirements and how advanced manufacturing initiatives can really help actually. So advanced manufacturing initiative will help in collaborative efforts with the industry stakeholders. As you know, there are many stakeholders starting from your distribution logistic network with your contract manufacturing, with your suppliers, with your maybe outsourcing uh, manufacturing. So all those things you have to have a better collaborative effort, which will help in innovative manufacturing practices. You can think about more automation, more digitalization, and with an artificial intelligence. So various these technologies will help in advanced manufacturing and all, and that will have a flexibility into the tailored production system, which will help in creation of the customized drugs, personal therapies and all, with better focus along with the patients and all also. So operational digital twins. So digital twins is another technology. It's a concept where emerging operational schemes can be developed based on to your hybrid model of the fidelity, and this depends upon the principles of the physics and the deep neural network. How it's moving onto the shop floor. You can create similar conditions into the lab and check it up how things will affect react based on to some of the disruptions or something like that, and that will help you to predict the behaviors, about the machines, about the product, about the quality results, about the people who are working onto that, and that will simulate to what if conditions, which will help minimizing downtime, better productivity, and all those things. So that's another thing which we have to really look at and think about it actually. This will also deep reinforcements about the AI agents, or DRL agents, which uh, we can think about it. So smart programs can help on the plant operations and will optimize the processes dynamically. And then real-time decision making will be there, and which will help in making a real-time decision, based on to your material, your machines, your manpower, all those various challenges which are going to have an impact onto this. So continuous policy of the refinements and all will happen, which will take care, and a continuous better decision making can help in all process optimizations and all. So there are a lot of limitations onto the legacy processes, legacy limitations onto monitoring the productions and all were there, because those were analog based systems, they're silos based systems. So those legacy systems have a lot of limitations which will not be there when you are looking at it artificial intelligence based and all that, and the predictive capabilities and all can really help you to view how that production is happening it and all that, and that will help you in improving onto that. So let me discuss more about the predictive capabilities also. Artificial intelligence and smart technologies into the manufacturing. When I say smart technologies, we are also going to use IoTs and all, which is going to capture the real-time data. So that will help in utilizing the historical as well as the real-time data for a better predictions, about the production, machine utilization, quality results, and all that thing. And that will have a support from the human operators. Earlier humans were working on to based on to the historical data, their mindsets and all that. Where now the components of smart manufacturing will get added. So AI for automation and value grounding will be there. Robotics can also do the value addition for effective process. Internet of Things will help in connectivity. Sensors will be used for data collection. Data analysis will be there. Digital twins. So a lot of these new technologies will help in predictive capabilities and all that, and that will drive the AI based supply chain management. So AI will be there as a strategic necessity, which will be a transition from the supplementary tool to a critical component. So driving that efficiency will help in operational processes into not only manufacturing but even to the logistic also. And that will drive the operational excellence. You will have a more robust systems and all that. And then that will improve the performance of the supply chain and all. Now, AI also plays a very important role in demand forecasting and inventory management. As you know, market conditions are constantly changing. So you have to have a enhanced predictions and demand management. So artificial intelligence improves the accuracy in predictive and meeting the demand. Machine learning technologies will help in optimizing the outbreak or any epidemic predictions and all. And inventory monitoring will reduce the downtime in manufacturing facilities and all that. No? You will help in maintaining the material inventories, in process inventory, your finished goods inventory, and integrations of all this data along with using about artificial intelligence can help you to predict all those processes and work accordingly. So smart algorithms for the drug target identification analyzes the biological data to identify the potential drug targets, predicting the relevance of specific diseases depending upon the demand, and analyzing those demand patterns to the inventory level. So artificial intelligence driven demand forecasting will now 40% companies are focusing on to this actually, and there is a big scope, and all of you must think about it how you can adopt artificial intelligence in demand forecasting, which will help you in optimizing inventory and minimizing the in process waste or something like that actually in stock out. And AI has got another extension about the cold chain management. The challenges are there into pharmaceutical industry because there are certain drugs or the products which needs transportation at the maintained temperature conditions and all. So temperature sensitivity products like biological and vaccines need a real-time monitoring about those parameters, temperature and all. So benefits of will be there into cold chain logistic. It will improve the efficacy and safety about those products, specifically those mentioned onto the vaccines like thing and all that. And that will also help in connecting with the demand forecasting and quality control. So now some of those companies are already started using those AI-powered alerts and all, but still there is a huge potential market, and that will give the better efficiencies and safety of the products and all. The another factor which I wanted to discuss over here is supply chain resilience. So we have to have an economic value which is going to increase. And McKinsey's research has predicted that it can help to go up by almost $110 billion, no, into that value contribution and all. So artificial intelligence implementation into pharma industry can really do a good value additions and all that. So higher quality standards can be maintained, can be achieved, and that's a bigger benefit when you look at things from the customer or the patient's point of view. And integrating those smart devices, as I mentioned earlier, those IoT based, which can really capture the real time data, is really going to be very useful. And that will have a resilient in supply chain. So remote monitoring about the temperature and conditions during transformation, transportation will help. And so that will have a minimum disruptions and will maintain the product integrity around. Now, this artificial intelligence will also help in governance framework. No, you need an essential governance framework is not an option today, but it's basically becoming crucial for all pharmaceutical companies. No, whether you are looking for the development or deployment about this technology to manage those AI technologies, but your governance is really required for maintaining those regulatory documentation and assuring the product quality, product safety, and all that. But this is getting more focused now due to the patient safety and privacy. Patients are really becoming more demanding. So you have to really keep that in mind. So you have to support an ethical and responsible artificial intelligence tool to support your governance framework and all that. So you'll have benefits like it will prevent a misuse of artificial intelligence. It will ensure the compliance of the regulatory standards and all. And that data can also help you in thinking about the innovations, into the complete digital supply chain management, and will support the privacy laws like GDPR, HIPAA, and all that actually. So it's a you have to really think into all those consideration about the various AI application, AI data, AI contributions, and all that actually. So I'm just trying to give you the whole overview into that. So building a robust data infrastructure is very important. So you will have to have a complete technology setup, which should really help in accelerating research and other risk factors. Healthcare data volume is increasing, so you need a cloud-based platform which will really go on increasing, storing all your data. And current data maturity also will have to take into the consideration. And that will help in optimizing the various resources. I already discussed various resources and all, and that needs to work it out with the return on investment goal. Now this systems requires a huge investment into hardware, software, training, implementations, changeover, the complete digital transformations, and also you need lot of strategic allocation of these resources will have to be there. You have to do that complete digital assessments and all that. But this is what is there, what your technology people, your management, you have to keep these things in mind. So my objective of this particular uh, episode is to make people aware about AI benefits and challenges into artificial intelligence and its capabilities were there. So alignment along with the C-suite executives and key stakeholders is very important. Commitment to the talent development, building up those AI capabilities is very important and it's very challenging also. Upskilling of the existing teams, we have to recruit the new teams also who have a AI focus, they have data science, bioinformatics and all, which is very essential for managing this entire project is also to be thought about it. So forthcoming strategic partnerships also you'll have to think. You can do the partnership with other pharma organizations, needs collaboration, who are technology experts into AI transformation. You can partnership with accelerate the capability development. You have to provide the access to the cutting edge innovations which you will have to do. Like some successful examples is like Pfizer has done a collaboration with IBM. And then similar thing you can also think about the educational institute, technology partners, implementation partners. You have to have those who are having a capabilities into the data science, data analytics, and data driven decision makings and all that. And also who are having the industry knowledges into the adoptions and all. So we have to also think about assessing the organization readiness. Importance of honest assessments is very important. You have to evaluate the current AI capabilities and then draw the strategic plan, how that data maturity can be achieved, how cultural readiness can be developed and all that. And then identify those strengths and the gaps and how those can be improved, the talent and governance and all also have to be thought about it actually. So identifying the high impact use cases, as I discussed onto the pilot projects, you will have to identify whether it's a customer centric or demand driven or demand forecasting is a critical area or quality is critical area or improving the productivity and profitability is doing. So you'll have to identify those high impact use cases, prioritize those project based on to the value and technical feasibilities, and then you'll have to think about the strategic evaluation of the AI potential things. It can be from R&D to the commercial applications and all. So draw those particular use cases and implement them and all. So building those technical capabilities, as I mentioned it, to do the cloud computing, data lakes, analytical platforms for the processing of the data, adoption of the AI tools, whether those specialized AI tools are available for your specific needs and requirements, and how you will also keep track about the sensitive data for the data security is also to be taken into considerations and all. And maintaining regulatory compliances is also a challenging. Change management is, of course, I discussed, cultural change and organization change is required. Executive leadership must be act as a champion for this AI adoption, and they should communicate with all strategies to the entire team and all, and should address the concerns about the jobs, about the safety, security, about the skills which are working on to the shop floor level. So they have to also give them job security and how those new workflows can be benefited to those skills and how they can contribute it and how that will be success factors into this implementation technology should be really discussed with all those scenes. And so finally coming to the conclusion is that artificial intelligence is going to play a major role, and it's now a fundamental business imperative. It's not a we can adopt to it. No, it's going to be an essential thing which is needs to be there, which you have to implement it as early as possible, because that is going to drive the transformation to the pharma forward, and that is will give you the benefits into productivity, profitability also, and will generate a lot of opportunities with an innovation to upgrade the skills, upgrade the technologies, and face the market in a better strength. No? So you need to have a comprehensive enterprise applications with a AI integration will have to be there. And that will help in strategic alignments and the governance which will be there. And it will be in a competitive positioning into that. So all those things we have already discussed onto various social platforms. So I request all of you to please look at it, those other social media platforms also. I'm quite sure you will get a lot of more knowledge into various other things, because in this one episode I tried to cover up many things, but no more details will be available onto those platforms. So please do look at them also, share your comments, share with your network. I'm quite sure you will get a lot of benefits from this knowledge sharing era. So thank you.